Hello. Oh, let me make sure my mic is working. All right. Didn't want to hit you guys with the robot coach Blayton, but hello, hello. Long time no see. It has been a while. I had such a good trip. We had a good time. Um, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Sorry. Got distracted by something. We had such a good trip. I was traveling all over Colorado primarily. So we went to a state park or two state parks and three national parks. Got to see a buddy of mine who just had a baby like a week and a half ago. So got to meet him and his new buddy, and man, it was just such a good time. We had a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of cool places. Got a lot of cool pictures. But hey, we're finally back and we are, we're ready to get going. I want to say my favorite place we went to was probably um what's the name? Black Canyon National Park, I think. And it was like just very dramatic, like the sheer cliffs and the coloration and everything. It just looked really cool. I think it would be absolutely beautiful to see Black Canyon National Park when it's raining, because it just has so many like, well, the canyons are really, it's a really sheer canyon, like 93 degrees sheer at some points. um that being said, it has like a lot of grooves, is like the best way I can describe it. And the reason why I think it would be so cool to visit there when it's raining is because I think the entire canyon would just be thousands of waterfalls. And so I really want to like somehow go back when it's raining, but I don't know how you plan that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I really loved it. It was probably my favorite location. Got to spend a bunch of time with my parents, which is always good. Um, yeah, I mean it was just a blast. We ate good food, got to see beautiful places. My parents' dog came with us, so he was having a blast. It was a good time. Bullet, hello, welcome in. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, I mean the trip overall was just a lot of fun, and it was a long trip though. Like I was ready to come home by the time we got home. It's kind of barnstorming. So glad to be back. Glad to be getting back into a rhythm, streaming more often, coaching more often, chilling out. But it was a good trip. Much needed vacation for sure. It's good to get away. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. We were watching, so I haven't seen like a ton of James Bond movies, primarily just like the most recent Daniel Craig ones. And we were watching some of the older James Bond movies because my parents own them. And we camp in an RV, so like we just drive around in their RV and they have a TV and we can watch movies and stuff. So we were watching some of the older James Bond movies and we watched Die Another Day with Pierce Brosnan, and it was really good. That's the one where Halle Berry got her start, really. And yeah, it was just a fun James Bond movie. The older ones tend to have like more fun gadgets than the newer ones. The newer ones are just like action and fun, women, killing bad guys, the general James Bond thing. But the Pierce Brosnan one has like more fun gadgets and stuff like that. But it was a really long movie, I will say that. But yeah, we started watching like the James Bond movies, and yeah, it was just a good time, man. It was a good week. We had a good trip. But I am glad to be getting back into Deadlock, starting to refamiliarize myself with this game. It's a lot going on here. Hopefully the meta hasn't changed drastically, but yeah. Bullet, thanks for helping out Demi in the Discord. Renee Winkler, welcome in. Hello. How have you guys been? How have the games been going? How's the Deadlock meta feeling? Who's the Elo potion heroes right now in ranked or in your guys' rank? Maybe it's different across the different ranks. I imagine it is to some extent. Hopefully your guys' games have been going smoothly. Okay, sorry. I promise I'm here. I'm just checking something. Okay. Okay. Regretfully, I have not figured out the chatbot situation and why my chatbot only works in Discord, or not in Discord, I'm sorry, only works on Twitch and not YouTube and Kick. So I do apologize to those who were unable to use the chatbot, but we will probably figure that out eventually. Surely. Where I wanted to start today was actually first before we start anything, I am a watch enthusiast, so I love collecting watches. And I mostly daydream about collecting them because the last watch I purchased was really expensive, and so it's going to be a while before I can pay for another one without just being a complete degenerate. But let me show you guys the watch that I'm most recently obsessed with. Get your guys' opinion. Is anybody else a watch enthusiast? Probably not, but it's a very, very expensive hobby. And let me tell you, it is very destructive. Okay, so let me pull up my, where's my main screen here? Okay. This watch right here is the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer GMT function. So you've got the GMT bezel, the GMT hands. You've got the date at the 6. I usually preferred at the 3 with the Cyclops. So when it has this magnification, I usually preferred at the 3, but it's fine there. I love the hands and the applied markers, the shape of the markers, multifaceted. And then I love the like Batman or Batgirl homage to Rolex Yachtmaster 2s. So we got the blue on the bottom and the black on the top. And then the reason why I really love Tag Heuer over like Omega Seamaster 300, Rolex Yachtmaster 2s, you name it, Tudor Black Bay, whatever kind of dive watch you're talking about, even Seiko. Tag Heuer's dial is the prettiest of them all. So like this wave design that they've got going on is just my favorite, which is the reason why I really want this watch, because I'm a dial person, so like I really have to love the dial to be able to own the watch. But the other thing I really like about this is that for a dive watch, it's only 13 millimeters thick, which isn't massive. You could probably wear this under a suit just fine. But then also the lug to lug is very short, given that it's a 42 millimeter watch. And so it wears super nicely on the wrist. I actually had a chance we have a Tag Heuer shop near me at a local mall. And so I had a chance to go look at this. And the 300 millimeter water resistance, it's COSC certified movement. It is, I believe, a Sellita movement, but Tag Heuer always modifies their movement so that it's considered in-house, but they're more transparent with that now than they used to be. So big respect to them. But it's also just cheaper than both Omega and Rolex, even though it's prettier, and it's basically just the perfect baby between like the Submariner, the Yachtmaster, and the Omega Seamaster. So I don't know. This watch has just been calling my name. However, there is a green version, this one, that I also really love. Do you guys have a preference? Like, if you, even if you're not a watch collector, do you guys like the sprites like green and black, or the Batman Batgirl blue and black? Because originally I was thinking of getting the green watch because I already have a cyan dial, so it's like a very light blue. It actually starts dark and goes lighter towards the bottom because it's a very unique watch, but I don't have a green watch. So I was thinking of getting the green dial because it would check off like a few boxes. Like I don't have a dive watch, I don't have a GMT, and I don't have a green dial. So it would be like all three. But to be honest with you, I think I like this blue one more. So like just makes more sense to get that one, right? Like, dang. Anyway, beautiful watches, beautiful timepieces. Absolutely love them. Just wanted to show you guys my recent obsession. This is maybe going to become a regular part of the stream, is me just talking to you guys endlessly about random watches that I love or that I'm looking at or want to buy. Or maybe I'll get to a point where I even show you guys watches that I own. But yeah, man, that dial, it's just killer. So good looking. The Tag Heuer on the crown. Got that closed case back. Kind of wish it was open. Oh, and then they also, the clasp has micro adjust and quick release. What more can you want? You know what I mean? Jeez. All right, you guys, is that enough? I think that's enough of me just drooling over the watch. Okay, I did want to start here when it comes to Deadlock content. What we're doing, I'm back, sorry. Oh, you're good, Bullet, welcome back. Okay, what we're doing is, there is a video from Poshipop that came out like a week ago or something that I haven't seen as far as I remember. If I have seen it, we'll just kind of rewatch it together. But what I wanted to do is kind of start off the stream. Now you guys can make suggestions if you'd like. So like if you have a video that you watched on YouTube and you want an Eternus Coach perspective on it, because one of the issues I ran into, this is particularly something that I ran into when I was trying to hit Radiant in Valorant for the first time, is I would watch videos or educational content on YouTube, but I would have questions that I wouldn't know the answer to about the video, and I needed a high rank person to give me that answer. And I had to just kind of figure it out the short way, or the long way rather. And so I'm trying to kind of bridge that gap with you guys if I can. So watching videos like this and kind of giving you my 2 cents, but then also answering questions about it as we watch it. So I figured what we can do is we can watch this. Let me, 1 second. Let me turn off my audio on Deadlock so we don't have this going in the background. Oh wait, I could probably just turn this off. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll just watch this. And you guys ask any questions if you have any. So this is Poshipop. You'll also have to let me know if I need to turn it up or not. I have no idea what the volume's gonna be.
You see a fight break out across the whole entire map. Your team is pinging, calling
but
you.
This is a question I get a lot. It's like, when my teammate is inting, you know, do I follow them or whatever? How was your weekend getaway? It was so good, Bullet. We traveled all over Colorado. We went to 3 national parks and 1 or 2 state parks, and it was really gorgeous. Just spent a week out there hanging out, watching movies, spent time with my parents, got a good time with my buddy. So I have a gaming buddy that lives out in Colorado. We met online, and he's like a brother to me now, and he just had a baby with his wife and got to meet the new baby. So just a lot of fun. It was a great time. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a much needed vacation for sure. I'm glad that we got to get away, but I'm glad to be back. There were times during the week when I was like, dang, I miss my stream. Like I miss my buddies. So I'm glad we're here. It was a good time, but glad to be back. Um, Hopefully this video helps out a little bit, or like us just watching it together, talking about it, because people don't seem to understand when you should leave a teammate for dead, when you should be split pushing for value to try and trade across the map, or when you should actually try and be present in a team fight. And I'm hoping, I mean, Pop usually really good at explaining things. My only issue with Pop, I actually don't have any issues with Pop. That's probably a bad way to say it, but like for some reason, when I watch Pop content, I tend to get bored personally. So like, I'm not saying Pop is boring. I just maybe it's because I'm like low IQ, low attention span or something. But like when I watch Pop content, sometimes I get bored. So this being a shorter video and watching it together on stream, hopefully it will help. But usually his educational content, despite me getting bored, is some of the highest tier out there. In fact, very few people have a higher caliber of educational content than Pop, in my opinion. So high quality, just not my thing. I saw a video talking about how you can use the minions to pressure a fight when they're low on HP. Oh, we'll have to look at it. Bull, if you can find it, throw it in the Discord and suggest that we start watching it. And maybe, I think I plan on streaming tomorrow. So maybe during the stream tomorrow, when we start it off, we can start by watching that video if you want to, but that'd be dope. Let's take a look at this. We'll get through the intro, see what Pop has in mind for us, and if you guys have any questions as we listen to the video, I'll be happy to give my input.
Wraith, and you do the right thing. You rotate to the fight. You zipline over, speed boost, teleport. But as you're going to the fight, you see the fight end. At the top left, the kill feed. The kills are coming. The fight is concluded. And while you rotated to that fight, the enemy's minion wave pushed into your walker, and you ended up losing that whole entire wave to your walker, making those souls forever gone. What nobody will tell you in Deadlock is that play did not fail because you were slow or you're bad at the game. That play failed because it was never a play that you should have rotated to in the first place. Every play in Deadlock has a radius. If you're within that radius, you can make that play. If you're outside of the radius, it may not be within your best interest to make that play. My name is Pop, Coach Melee Creeps, and I've hit rank 1 on the North American leaderboard several times. And in today's video, we'll be talking about a concept that will polish your macro more than any other guide out there currently for Deadlock: the radius of play. By the end of this video, you'll be able to determine very quickly whether or not that fight that's happening all the way in the right lane is the play that you need to rotate to, or someone else's highlight reel. Every play in Deadlock has a radius. As you can see right here, this is the radius, right? Radius of a circle. And the radius is defined by two things. First thing that defines the radius of a play is the play lifetime. And something fundamental about any play in Deadlock is defined right here by this graph. So on the x-axis, we have time, you know, seconds, minutes, whatever you want to say. And on the y-axis, we have percent chance of the play ending, like the probability that the play ends at a given time. Starting off from 0-0, we have the execution of a play. So let's say you begin sieging a walker, right? As time goes on, the play in which you are doing is more and more and more likely to end, right? As defined by this little line here, very linear, right? Sometimes the fights may end fast, right? As you can see very early on, there's a very low probability of the play ending. And sometimes plays or fights might take a long time. The probability as time goes on of a play ending is high, but it's not 100%, of course, right? If I could make this y-axis go a little longer, it would go all the way up to probably here for 100%. I mean, technically you could say it goes infinitely, but right. So play lifetime, as time goes on, the percent chance of the play ending increases. It is very hard to determine how long a play will last when you have not a lot of time on Deadlock. Understanding how long a play can go for its lifetime involves lots of trial, error, deep analysis, VOD review, all that good stuff. Now, what's important when you're playing Deadlock is that you're conscious of the variables that determine the length of a fight, right? Health, the location of the fight, the numbers, is a 5v4, 4v3, 4v2, your souls,
available,
the heroes involved, right? There's all these different variables that will dictate how
what
long a
objective you're
play will
fighting
last.
around. Yeah.
So whenever you're in a play or reviewing a play, you should be very considerate of these variables. So you sort of create a backlog in the back of your head where it's like, hey, because this is a 4v1, because this is a 5v5, my assumption for how long the play will last will be this.
And just to kind of like touch on that, the other thing that a lot of people fail to consider is, and I'm sure Pop will touch on this, but when it comes to should I rotate or not, it should also keep in mind, like, let's assume that you are close enough to rotate, the fight has just begun, so there's a high probability that you'll make it in time. It's around a major objective that would net your team, some sort of large victory. So it's around a walker push or let's say the rift. That's a great one. The thing to keep in mind is your health and your ultimate and your souls relative to the enemy team. Like, if you're going to have a large impact on that fight, it's more and more important that you be there. So a lot of people will be like, I don't know whether I should have rotated to that fight or split push. And there's all these different variables, and sometimes it's impossible to tell in the moment. It's way easier to tell in hindsight, but in the moment, sometimes it's near impossible to tell whether you should be rotating or not. With experience, you get better and better, but usually you're basically just gambling. Like, I'm going to try and make it to this fight in time to be impactful. And sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. But the type of objective that you're after, like mid-boss contest, usually is like always a be there if you can. Like, if your teammates are contesting, you should help them, unless it's a solo contest. So if one person's going in there like Ivy's gargoyle or something and they're trying to just steal like one rejuve, then you cut your losses. You don't want to like lose the game over one rejuve or whatever. But just to touch on this a little bit is, when it comes to you're in a game and you're trying to remember Poshpop's video, how can this impact you? Think about you relative to your team. Like, if you have 7 ult, it's usually a really big deal that you be there, because 7 ult is a massive team fight that can change the momentum drastically, especially if they have nothing to counter you, right? Like, they got no knockdowns, no hard CC that can reach you. They have nothing available to actually stop your ult. It's usually very high value. Dynamo's another example. But if you're like, let's say you're playing gun bebop and you're half HP, generally your impact is going to be very low in any sort of team fight. And if you're far enough away from the team fight to where you can actually get value split pushing, you're going to have a better time split pushing, right? So there's just a lot of things to consider, but think about you relative to your team. Someone say gun bop? Yeah, somebody said it. But I'm sure he'll touch on this, but let's keep looking at what he has to say.
Okay, the play is done. Oh, the play lasted this long. You compare your assumption to the outcome and then get a better
Welcome in,
gauge
Samurai. Long
for
time no see.
general
Hope you're
play
doing well.
lifetime. That's kind of with learning anything in life, right? But it's very important to be aware of these variables of plays and at their lifetime when you're playing Deadlock. The second thing that will determine the radius of the play is the time to impact. And the time to impact is defined between or with 2 points, right? You have point A, which is where you're located, and point B, the play in which you intend to rotate to. The distance between A and B is the time that it takes to impact, the time to impact the play, right? So this is going to once again vary on some small factors. It's going to vary how you transport yourself to the play. Are you running across the map to get to the play? Are you using zip boost to get to the play? Are you going to utilize a teleporter to get to the play, right? What hero are you playing? Are you playing Doorman that can door? Are you playing Mirage that can P? Are you playing Venator, one of the slowest heroes in the game, right? Who are you playing?
We should go over this bonus question before he answers it. Samurai, glad that you're here, even though you're a little bit busier. Glad that, hopefully school's going well for you. But we should study this bonus question. What do you guys think the answer is to this? Why do pro players generally have a smaller time to impact than new players? There's like several answers that I would consider correct here. So I don't know what Poshipop is going to consider like the correct answer, unless he also is accepting multiple answers. But what do you guys think the answer to this question would be? We should kind of tackle this really quick before he does, because I'm trying to think of the answers I would accept. There's 2 that come to mind immediately, but maybe a third. So let me think about it. My guess would be more fundamental understanding of proper positioning. Okay. Positioning, like healthy positioning to begin with. So you're not like off in no man's land when your team is pushing a walker. That's definitely going to be one of them. Yeah, that's a good answer for sure. Been playing nothing like Gumbot for the last week or so. Oh, that's funny that I said that then. Yeah, I would say so, Samurai. That's a good answer to the bonus question. Positioning is definitely going to be one thing. The other thing is going to be movement. So they have better movement. They're able to cross the map better. So generally speaking, as a higher rated player, I'm able to cross the map much quicker than lower rated players, where I understand my kit well enough to be able to use that mobility better. The other thing I would say is communication or just mini map awareness. So understanding like what is happening and communicating clearly with your team what they're like intending to do so that you can have a quicker reaction. So I guess the short answer to what I just said is anticipation reacts quicker than or acts quicker than reaction. So if you can say, are you guys planning on sieging that walker? And you start moving to teleport across the map so that you can get there to help them, that anticipation is going to give you a few seconds ahead of your team, you just seeing kill feed because your team started sieging the walker without saying anything. So I would say minimap awareness of your team being there, or just understanding like Rift is spawning, for example, and communicating that with your team. Yo, Rift is spawning here, and then they know they have 60 seconds to finish what they're doing before they get over there. Things like that are going to make a big difference too. It's pretty much just classic training. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Posh Pop has to say about it, but those are like the answers I would accept. So superior movement is probably the lowest on that list. Positioning, like you said, and anticipation, so communication and minimap awareness are probably the best thing. If you train to do something 1,000 times, when it comes time to execute, you don't have to think, you just do. Yep. Exactly.
What are the variables involved that might change the time it takes for you to arrive to the play? So now we have these two variables, the lifetime of a play and the time to impact the play. We must take these two variables and compare them. So the first comparison we're going to make is we're going to say if the play lifetime is greater than the time to impact, that means that you will arrive in time for the play. Think about it for a second. If the play lasts for a minute, right, in which you're rotating to, and the time to rotate lasts for 10 seconds, then you will arrive to the fight, right? On the flip side, however, if the play lifetime is less than our time to impact, then you will not arrive in time for the play to impact it. But Poshy Pop, how in the world are we supposed to know how long a play lasts and the time to impact the play?
Radius.
Well, I'll tell you, after playing for about 7,000, 8,000 hours, I don't know how many hours I have in this game, I have a pretty good guesstimate in my head for how long a play can last and how long it's going to take for me to rotate from point A to point B, right? And as we stated when we discussed these variables, they're going to be defined by variables, right? The lifetime of play is going to depend on how many people are at the fight, the souls, right? Where the fight is at, the location. Are you on your side of the map? Are you on their side of the map? Where are you, right?
How
the time
long
to
is the
impact.
game been
What hero are
going
you
on,
playing?
etc.
How are you going to get there? Are you across the whole entire map? Are you one lane over?
Team fights at
is
10
it
minutes,
in the same lane in which you're at, right? All these things, as long as you're thoughtful about the variables that define the lifetime of a play and that define the time to impact the play, you will, through time, learn and be able to guesstimate to the same level that I am on how long these things take, right?
Let me know if it's too quiet, by the way, or too
Try the new
loud or
Honest
whatever.
Fire Chicken
I don't know what the
Sandwich at
volume's at
Speedway.
for you guys, to be honest. But
You know, I always say if
Oh,
you
we
have
got
time
hit
to
two
score, you
ads.
have time for a call.
bummer.
I like that.
At AT&T.
Now, let's talk about a bad rotation. So let's say you get
good, he's
you
clear.
know,
Okay.
the time to
Good.
impact and the play lifetime wrong, and you have a bad rotation. What's the worst thing that could happen? There's two bad things that you need to be aware of. One is a guarantee, and two is results of bad macro from not only yourself but your team. So the first cost of a bad rotation, the double cost, is an empty lane, right? When you over rotate to a fight and you leave that lane completely empty, assuming that no one is in there, you're gonna miss the souls from the troopers in that lane, right? So think of each lane as like a banana farm, okay? In Balloon's tower defense, you're going to not collect that banana farm, and the money to be gained in that lane will just be kind of in the dumpster, right? Because troopers are going to naturally live
What a
and
great
die in
analogy.
that lane.
Bloons
It's going to go
TD is
through
so
the
good.
life cycle of the trooper. I don't know. Second, you're going to miss the opportunity cost of walker pressure or pressure in
You know
general,
what the real
right?
problem with
Because you're going to
team-based
have
games
all
like
your
MOBAs are?
resources
What's the real
allocated more
problem?
towards one side of the map. Now
People
you will
that
not
need
be
to
able to
watch
pressure
these
the
kinds of
map
things never
as
will.
equally, right?
Yeah, probably
So
true.
maybe you could have split a walker, right? If you didn't rotate, which would be advantageous macro actually for your team if your team that is fighting at the play or executing the play plays accordingly to your walker macro play. So I've coached a lot of people, right? Hundreds, close to 1,000. If you're interested in getting coaching yourself, go to poshipop.com or coachlock.gg, which is a coaching website ran by me and Deathy. This most common cost or downside I see with bad rotations when I butter with people is the second cost here. Kill splits, guys. Over allocation. Everybody, right now, I want you to look at this chart, okay? When you allocate more and more and more people to a team fight, it's not just the kill is getting cut in half. The piece of the pie, the pizza, the cake, the kill itself becomes less money as defined by the total percent, right? So the percent share of each player goes down. Yes, that's natural because you're splitting more. But the actual kill itself becomes worth less money. I'm just gonna use some arbitrary numbers here. With a solo kill, let's say a kill, you know, you get it? It's worth 1,000 souls. Split that between one guy. A kill with 6 people, that kill is now worth 500 souls. Split between 6 people. So when you have a bad rotation, right, this is one of the most common downsides that I see when I VOD review people, the kill splits. They are giving their team less money because they're allocating to a fight in which they were never needed. Now their team is more poor. The economy of this game benefits you more if you death ball less, allocate less.
So okay,
Takes,
I'm sure Pop would agree with my take here, but I'm going to add some caveats here. Pop is taking this at a two-dimensional level of if more people contribute to a kill, your team gets less souls. That's technically true. The problem that I think he's missing out on is that kill econ is such a low priority compared to map pressure. So for example, if you unless the enemy team is punishing this behavior, that's actually not as disadvantageous as he makes it sound, because literally one center sacrifice offsets this entire thing. So if you steal like one center sacrifice or one tier 3 camp from the enemy side of the jungle, you've pretty much offset the entire kill split that you just had. So as a team in terms of souls, and getting kills, even if they're split 6 ways, like your whole team is deathballing, if you get a certain enough amount of kills that allows for a certain amount of map pressure, including sieging walker, including mid boss, which also provides souls, including rift, including urn, including whatever it may be, as long as the enemy team isn't counter pressuring, which I think he's assuming they are. So unless you're being punished for this behavior, it doesn't actually matter. So for a lot of lower rated players, this concept actually won't have near as much as an impact as it will for higher rated players. So if I was coaching like I'm just gonna use the new ranking system as if it was the old one, but like if it was Phantom players and above, I would probably want this concept to be in the back of their mind. But I kid you not, until Ascendant or maybe even Eternus, this will not have a large impact on your games as much as it will the map pressure. So not dropping the kills, making sure that you are getting the kills and then able to pressure the walker while maintaining at least one person, able to make sure waves are being pushed in the other lanes so that you're not like losing a walker over these kills. Usually you come out ahead on souls from these types of plays. So I think Pop is maybe putting a little bit too much pressure on this, but I do not think anybody on the lower half of the elo spectrum is going to notice any sort of difference in their games if they were to try and apply this, because they're just much bigger fish to fry. So I do disagree with the amount of weight he's putting on this outside of like Ascendant or Eternus. I think lower rated players would benefit more from being able to get the kills, steal jungle, or get objectives off of it, more so than they would from potentially under allocating and not getting the kills at all, or worse, losing the fight and then being put further behind. So I think over allocation is an issue, but it is a very high level issue. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. That's my perspective here. Kill econ in this game is so interesting compared to other MOBAs. Agreed. Yeah, I actually wish kills were worth more, to be honest. Like I want to be able to kill bad guys, not NPCs, but that's just my take. I hate it when somebody can literally farm side lane and get solo farm and literally come out ahead of somebody who's like been roaming around the jungle and they're 13-0. Like it just, that bugs me. But
size of the radius, and I'm not talking about beef steaks, I'm talking about the stakes of a team fight. Okay, the bigger the stakes, the farther you may rotate to the fights. The smaller the stakes, the less you rotate. What even are stakes, guys? Stakes are,
yeah, that's what I agree, Samurai. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Of the
this
fight
is a high
is.
elo.
Let's say you have a fight in the laning phase, right? The consequence of the fight in the laning phase is your guardian gets chipped a little bit. Maybe you miss 1 or 2 minutes.
Understanding the concept is important,
the stakes
but
of a
applying
fight
it
at
is
40
a high
minutes, mid boss,
that
patron drop,
you
shrines,
won't be able to do without
the stakes
other
of a fight at
mechanics.
rift, the rift, the stakes of the fight at second rift, maybe mid boss, right? Third rift and mid boss, right? Low
Happens in every
stakes
MOBA,
are
yeah.
a wave, poke fights, a gank for 1 kill. Medium stakes are a walker, an earn run, right? First rift fight. High stakes, mid boss, rejuve, later rift fights, a shrine and patron. So if the stakes of a fight are higher, you may rotate farther. If the stakes of a fight are lower, you are restricted to rotating not as far, to rotate only if it's
this is a really big
vicinity.
concept. This right here is huge for people to understand at all ranks, is that when the stakes are higher, the further that radius becomes, because it makes, like what I was saying with mid boss, when it's contesting mid boss as a team, that's like a game winning or game shifting fight. The radius is literally the entire map. If you can get to the mid boss contest with your team to increase the chance of you guys actually stealing a mid boss from the enemy team or coming out of that fight with rejuves and kills, like numbers advantage, that shifts the entire momentum of the game. The radius is the entire minimap. So yeah, this is a really important concept to understand. The harder thing is knowing which stakes fall into which level and what that radius is exactly, which hopefully he'll go over a little bit, but I don't know that there's so many variables. I don't think he can actually concisely, explain that to people, but this concept is really good.
For example, if you're on the left side of the minimap and there's a fight happening on the right side of the minimap and the fight is for nothing, there are no stakes to it, it's just some burger fight, you should not teleport from the left side to the right side or zip boost from the left side to the right side. If you guys are interested to learn more about stakes of a team fight, I recommend to watch my still relevant Win the Rotate to Fights in Deadlock video. Now, I'm not gonna lie, upon watching this video, I kind of realized, damn, I was kind of big chunks back then, but that's a side note. Go ahead and watch the video, guys. It's a good video to brushing up your knowledge on stakes. I highly recommend it, and it is a great supplement to this video. The better play is usually within your immediate vicinity. If you're ever considering the radius of a play or whether you should rotate or not, you should first look at where you're at and if you can make a play there. Because guys, the radius to where you're at is 0. Make the play where you are at as the distance of that play is 0. Now,
so this concept is usually what I end up coaching people on, is if you can take a trade anywhere on the map for any given objective or anything. So like, let's say Deadlock is a game of trades. For example, if your team is losing a team fight, let's say we're losing this team fight and we're going to lose Guardian and Walker, but you have an opportunity to maybe trade the Guardian or even get damage and maybe trade the Walker. This play is going to make the same amount of sense, because even if they get all these kills and the 2 objectives, you rotating over is not going to be able to change the soul difference or the long-term effect on the game, like the long-term outcome, as much as trading the souls of Guardian and Walker. So making the play where you're at and just trading is a very, very good concept to get a handle on. Almost always this can be a good play. It may not be the best play, but it is almost always good, not bad. So like if you can successfully trade here, then this is going to be a good play. Maybe it would have been the best play if you rotated over and helped your team, but sometimes rotating over, failing to help your team, and then losing the Walker anyway is a bad play, whereas this would be good. Does that make sense? So it's like good, better, best. And this, if you can trade anything across the map. So for example, if they're getting a Walker here, you and your team get this Walker. If they're getting mid boss, you get shrines. If they're getting, like whatever it is, if they're getting urn, you're getting a walker. If they're getting rift, you're getting a walker. If you can take a trade anywhere on the map, that is the best way to play Deadlock and the most consistent way to get high value. There are going to be better plays. There are going to be scenarios where that is not the optimal play, but in general, it is how I coach people because it is the most consistent way to apply the radius that he's talking about. Is the radius to the objective you're near is 0. So just do that play if you can successfully do it. If you have like absolutely no objective damage because you're playing a support hero and you were just here to clear the wave, then you probably shouldn't be pushing it because you're going to be wasting time. You might as well try and defend the walker or whatever. But there's going to be other variables, but just in general, this is a good idea. If we're losing something on one side of the map, see if we can trade it on the other side of the map, because chances are the reason we're losing it on that side of the map is because we're on the other side of the map. So just understanding that you can take trades in Deadlock, which is really important in lane, right? Lane phase is when trades are most obvious, like when you're trading how much damage you took versus how much damage you dealt to them, forcing them to have to reset, or maybe even netting an early kill, or maybe because you denied more orbs than them, you're trading soul gain for soul loss against them, so you're going to be able to buy items earlier, you're going to be able to get your ultimate earlier. These types of trades that you're taking throughout the game, that's the best way you can apply this concept, in my opinion.
I'm not saying you should never rotate to a team fight and just push your lane, okay? But I'm saying that play in the lane, you're already in the lane, guys. You don't need to rotate. That's kind of why, going back to this radius thing, stakes set the size, the radius of the play, when the stakes are really high, the radius gets really high. So it becomes more acceptable to rotate, right? Let's say this fight here on this map, we're looking at it and this is a mid-boss fight. This is the second rift fight or something like that, right? Then we probably want to rotate to that because that second rift fight is going to turn to a mid-boss in an Eternus game, right? Or if it's a first rift fight, as I wrote down here, then maybe we just split and take the enemy guardian in the lane in which we're at instead, right? If we are outside of the radius of the play, right? If this play is too far and it's not worth rotating to because of the stakes, what should we do? Where do we go? The first place you want to look is within your immediate vicinity in your lane. Let's talk about some potential criticism and nitpicks about the radius of the play. Zip lines make rotations fast. Indeed, they still provide and give you downtime.
If you have zip line
boost,
a lot of time
when you're on that zip line rotating from point A to point B, something that people don't consider is the loss of efficiency, right? If we go back to that sort of double cost of a bad rotation, cost one is the empty lane. There's no one there grabbing the souls. There's no one there splitting the walker, pressuring the walker, right? So the downtime from you taking that zip line to make that rotation will still exist no matter what. Of course, it's minimized if you have boosts, but still. Some heroes rotate for free. True. Actually true. There are some heroes in Deadlock that their whole entire identity is to rotate faster than other heroes. Take Ivy, for example. Has less gravity, has more stamina, has an ult that allows her to fly, her and another hero. Mirage teleports across the whole entire map, right? So yeah, some heroes do have the rotation cheat code. Late game, you have to group. Yep, you do actually have to group late game for the most part. If mid-boss is respawning, you can sort of think of the stakes as a low to medium, but if mid-boss is up and you're late game, you should definitely group to late game team fights. And this plays a little bit into the carry mentality. I have a bunch of videos up regarding that. So like it's kind of talks about, hey, because in the late game you have to group and you don't really have the luxury of doing your own plays, you should look to maximize your souls through kills and souls in the or kills in jungle in the early to mid game. So late game team fights, the stakes are high. So under a framework, this is true and fine. Even if mid boss is not up, a full 6-0 in a team fight can just cause your whole entire base and patron to be dropped. So before you are rotating to any fight in Deadlock at any time in the game, you should do this 2-second check, right? First, do I get to the fight before it's decided? Second, does my arrival actually change the results? And third, what is at stake? Mid-boss, first rift, second rift, walker, burger laning phase fight? What is going on? Think about these three things before you rotate, and I guarantee you, through time and through actual thoughtful play in Deadlock, you will be better at rotating and defining the radius of the play. That was kind of like there, like, you know, in the movies, how they say the name of the movie. That was good, right? Thank you all for watching. I think
All
this
right,
is
this
one
is
of
good. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was helpful. Yeah, I mean, there's really good points there that Push Pop makes that we can always keep in mind. So, anybody have any questions? I feel like no questions came up. Maybe he was clear and concise, but I feel like for the most part, he was talking about a general. What's the word I'm looking for? He's talking about general macro, and it can be applied to a lot of people's games, but getting specific about it is why we need individual coaching, because you can watch that video and still make that mistake in your games. So, yeah. Anyway, I hopefully that was helpful for me to talk about it a little bit. And then if you guys have any suggestions about videos you want me to review, like bullet through one in the Discord, you could go ahead and throw it in the Discord, and maybe I'll make a dedicated channel for it. So like these would be right now in educational content, bullet through in a video that we would be able to watch maybe at the beginning of tomorrow's stream or something like that. But maybe I'll make a different one where you guys can do like suggestions for videos that we go over or videos that you want me to review, that sort of a thing. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful. And I do look forward to doing these more often. I wish somebody had done this for me when I was ranking up in both Deadlock and especially in Valorant, like I'd said at the beginning. Valorant was where I needed it the most and wasn't getting that help on my way to Radiant. So what's the plan for today? Pro VOD reviews, etc. Yeah, I don't have any Pro VOD reviews plans for today. I could probably put some together if we wanted to, but it's mostly just VOD reviews. So anybody that has put in requests, it's kind of first come, first serve today. So we're just going to be doing VOD reviews of students getting back into it. Alice said she won't be here, so we won't be doing Alice either this week or whatever. And then Bullet has one, Crab Shack has one, and More Toxic has one. But until they show up, then or until they are ready for it, like even if they're here but busy or whatever, it's kind of first come, first serve. So yeah, go ahead and put in a request, Samurai. I'm happy to take yours. Bullet was here, so if Bullet's here and ready, I'll do yours first, Bullet. But if Bullet's not here, then I'll take yours. My request is a duo with Samurai. Okay, okay. I'm only here for a bit. Crab Shack, if you're time sensitive, I can try and get yours in. Do you think you'll be here long enough for a full VOD review? I don't know how long you're here. No? Okay, we can do it another day, Crab Shack. No pressure. We can definitely do it another day, so don't you worry about it. We'll take it another day whenever you're ready. And that way you can give it your full time and attention. So Samurai, I'll take yours. No problem. Go ahead and throw it in the Discord, and then I can pull it up, and we'll go there. Yeah, take your time. You're chilling. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wait, maybe it wasn't a ranked game, actually? Crab Shack, just let me know if there's a day you know you'll be available, and I can kind of plan it out to do it that day for you. Or if it's we'll play it by ear, then we'll do that too. Whatever works. Throw it in the Discord, Samurai. That way I can keep track that I've already done it. Say Crab Shack, I should be here Wednesday. I do plan on streaming all week, but things always come up, so we'll see. But hopefully Wednesday in the morning we can do yours. That should work out. Where did the channel go? I don't know. It's still there. Give us some dual lane coaching and then you can focus on Samurai's gameplay after that. Alright. I'm happy to coach more than one person at a time. I did it with Bullet and Heather, where I coached them as a duo. So if you guys have like specific duo queue games that you want, feel free. Always happy. Let's get this downloaded here. Will do. Okay, let me see. I have not done, like, on the HUD, usually I'll say that I'm coaching a specific rank, but I don't have the new rank symbols yet, so it's just gonna say coaching. I started to change the names, but I don't have the symbols to go along with them. This one was a win, but felt less impactful from Crab and I, in my opinion. Okay, well, let's take a look. So you're playing Gun Bop, and Crab is playing Billy. And it looks like we kind of got carried by Calico and 7, but let's take a look at it. Oh, shoot. Okay.
Miss Shelley's counting on you, Beaver. Only you can save her.
Then let's get the minimap. Okay, we're all good.
I never doubted your conviction, 7.
I would have liked to see you already use Uppercut, by the way, on a minion and chucked it at them. Like that, but to help you clear wave and poke the enemy at the same time. It's just such a low cooldown. You can usually use it twice per wave, especially in the early game when they don't have much clear.
You'll be the last one standing.
So like I would have chucked that minion at them, the one right in front of me. Here we go. That's a little better. Yeah. Helps you clear the wave, maybe puts a little pressure on him. I mean, you should at least use it once per wave, but sometimes twice. Like, see, you could use it again on the minion to your right. Yeah. Like on the heal minion there, you could have chucked it at him. There's just such a short cooldown. It's OP in lane. Like, chuck your heal minion? Yeah. And now we can throw a bomb on it and then chuck it at them. Yeah! Steal their minis because it's 2 minutes. You guys should both be positioned there. We weren't looking at the minimap and clock. Honestly, bomb toss feels bad to me unless properly timed. You want to do it on a lower health minion, generally. That way the timing doesn't have to be as good, because it just goes kaboom when it lands. Okay, you guys need to be better on your timing. You should have gotten their camp. You guys had wave pressure before the 2 minute mark. You guys could have both been in that room and started blasting as soon as they came up. So we need to work on our timing as a duo and be communicating that with each other. If one of you remembers, you tell it to the other. Crab didn't realize Mina doesn't insta-kill camp at level 1 rake. Yeah. She does not. Even if she does and she comes in there, you guys just fight her and make her take a ton of damage for getting the camp. Like, you both should still be in there. Nice steal. There's no reason for you to not be in there when you have lane pressure. Literally none. Now you should go back, because 3 minutes and 30, it should be respawning if it was killed on time, so you guys should be in there right now instead of doing this needless poke. Bullet, welcome back. This is Samurai and Crab Shack duoed, yeah. We're mostly watching Samurai's game. That would have been a great minion to put a bomb on, by the way.
I see Kelvin.
Oh, great hook. Huge bebop carry. You should totally look at my friend's first game. Yeah, happy to look at it. Okay, bridge buffs are after this wave, so you guys want to stay aggressive. Make sure that you clear the wave ASAP and get to bridge buffs. I'll try to get him into the server. He's at work right now, though. Did you want me to wait for him to be here so I could review it, or did you just want to see me review his first game? Perfect. Going for bridge buffs. Huge. Nice. Ooh, okay. So, this is something I want you to keep in mind as Bebop. What you just did was a very common low elo mistake, is just because you hooked them and uppercut was off cooldown, you threw him away. I would avoid doing that unless you absolutely have to for the kill or something, because bomb was coming up. It would have been better if we delayed using R1 and then used bomb so that we get the stack, especially because as gun bebop, having bomb stacks can have a secondary form of pressure. They're not going to counter build it as much. But yeah, for the stack. Because you just used uppercut because it was available. There's no reason to displace him there, other than it was available and you felt like you had to press a button. If you want to press a button, like weave in a light melee or something, but don't just use uppercut because it's available to you. Not every single time. Most of the time you will, but in that situation, you and Viscous, having him close to you guys so you both can hit him, and then using uppercut later, like using a stamina so that you can uppercut him or something, because you couldn't get the bomb on him for whatever reason, or if bomb's just never coming off cooldown, it's way too long, that's better. But like, if we look at this again, watch. I think you'll agree with me after you see it. Look, where are you uppercutting him? Like, you are uppercutting him to safety here, though. That's the scary thing. It's like his only escape is to go down, and you're like helping him. The worst thing for him is staying as close to you guys as possible. So uppercutting him, especially when bomb is up in 1.5 seconds, like, you are just helping him get distance from your Viscous. You guys could both be close range, like beating the crap out of him. And then if he tries to run this way, because this is going to be his like dumb form of escape instead of going down, he's going to try and go this way. Then you can uppercut him further away. But the try and get him further away from safety was not planned out well enough, because you're actually helping him get somewhere to where he would be able to line of sight both of you, especially Viscous abilities. Now, luckily, he was low enough, but we missed out on a bomb stack. So just a small thing. It's a small optimization. Don't use your abilities on somebody just because they're there and available. You have to think about what abilities are coming up and if you can get more value out of a combo. Or delay the amount of time that he is effectively CC'd. Like, let him burn a stamina trying to get away from you and then uppercut him away so that he, like, wasted his stamina and he's still just as far away as he wanted to be. That kind of a thing. Viscous missed the splatter because of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just because it was an unnecessary uppercut. If I'm the Viscous, in my mind, I'm like, why did my Bebop just uppercut there? Like, it was just unnecessary, that's all. In general, the put him far away from safety is a good way of thinking. That scenario is one of the exceptions, and that's why I was pointing it out. Okay. This is another, like, minimap and clock failure. I want you to tell me what you guys accomplished right here. Okay. Starting at 6:18, I want you to tell me what we accomplished in lane. "12 seconds. What have you guys accomplished?" Pressure? Not even. What kind of pressure? You guys didn't have minions pushing in Guardian. They killed your minions as soon as they pressured Guardian. You guys aren't pressuring the objective. This is accomplishing nothing. You guys are just doing idle poke. You did like maybe 120 damage between the two of you. Yeah. So what I would like for you guys to do is either push up and start stealing a camp somewhere. Unfortunately, their camps are like terrible to steal in this position, so that's not what I would suggest. I would go back and do my church camp. Even if you don't do the whole camp, you guys getting souls from a few of these minions over the course of 12 seconds is way better than like 100 damage between the two of you. And now we back up when the minion wave is coming. Now we should be applying pressure. But we're giving pressure, and now we're doing a buff. You see? We're 12 seconds slow on these. What about the potential poke damage we're gonna do? If you guys wanted to give them space to push into you, that's fine. That's calculated. But that camp should have been done earlier, and then you allow them the space to come in. The 12 seconds of standing around is like just a waste of life. Because if you're gonna allow them to push into you, you take that time to get a second camp. Then you guys have 2 tier 2 camps down and the same amount of pressure given. Instead of 12 seconds of absolutely nothing. I do try to allow people to push in as Billy because he punishes overextensions so hard. Yeah, Bebop does too. You guys both do. But you guys aren't taking advantage of the downtime between the pressure properly. You guys should be killing your tier 2 camps or stealing their sinners in between these bouts of no pressure. It's like if you have no pressure or they haven't taken the pressure you're giving them yet, you guys should be taking something. Right now, we're just doing like this idle, useless damage. You guys should be stealing their sinners right now. This is all pointless. You guys should be double punching the sinners so it goes down really fast. Now they're gonna get their sinners, even though you guys had all the pressure in the world. That's just completely unnecessary. That's unfortunate that it wasn't long enough.
Oh, I see him.
Oh. Awkward. It actually wasn't a bad ult, it was just bad timing that he happened to use his ult. I actually don't mind the ult in of itself. Even the positioning wasn't that bad. Kelvin was right there. He just threw a freaking dome in your face, so there's nothing you could do. But you had decent line of sight on Kelvin to be able to do a bunch of damage if he wasn't in dome. Especially if Crabshack had popped his ult too to keep him there longer. It really was just that he happened to dome you. That was the worst part. I mean, the positioning wasn't that bad. Shelly, welcome in. Long time no see. Glad to see your games are going a little better. She should die here. Oh, you are so crazy for that crab shot. I gotta be honest. You gotta bait parries before you melees, Billy. You gotta be very careful. Either bait the parry or just play so close to them that they feel the pressure and parry themselves. Oh, that's awkward. There we go. It's like, where'd the bomb stack go? Mega dodge. Yeah, the tower not punching you is kind of lame. It is what it is. I got a question. Is it worth it to risk an 800 soul bag to potentially save someone from being ganked? Almost never. It depends on the time of the game, Bullet. The later in the game, the more that answer leans towards yes. But no, 800 souls is a lot. Almost nobody is worth 800 souls per kill. Unless it's like a solo kill, and there's a very high probability of you helping. Or being able to change the outcome, I guess I should say. Yeah, the tower kind of screwed you there, Samurai, and that's alright. I keep having to tell my team to not engage a fight while every other lane is not pushed, but you know, it's working. Hey, it's all about the little things, Shelly. Just keep focusing on you. We can't always change our teammates. Nice. It's good to get bomb stacks on Mina because it forces her bats, and now you guys can play pretty aggressive on her because she has nothing. Like, if I was Crab, I'd have gone in so hard there just now because she has no bats. I'd have used my 2, my 1. I'd have been shooting her so much right next to her that she felt like she had to parry for no reason. Yeah, nice kill. Like, here, just to give you guys an idea. Her bats were still 12 seconds. 10 seconds. By the time she died. There's such a long cooldown. If you can force her to waste bats on Sticky Bomb, you guys can just pressure her infinitely. Don't know what she was thinking there, honestly. She wasn't thinking. She had no help, and she just... Oh, that's so sad. She just ran at you guys. I don't think our team got there in time. Yeah. Little late on the rotate if we're planning on doing Rift. But that is what it is.
They destroyed the Guardian on you.
Your team actually should win this fight over in left. Because you guys, they have numbers. Yeah. Awesome. So they won the fight over there. They're going to be able to trade Guardian, and they got a bunch of kills that almost neutralized the Rift, but they were able to get this Guardian. Hayes won this 1v1, which was massive. Got that Guardian. A lot of good trades there. Hayes dies for it. Unfortunate. Not bad overall. Not bad. The fact that we just gave Rift because we were late, that kind of sucks. Especially since it seems like the call was to go Rift. Because like Yamato was alone and we had a bunch of people going there, but we were just super late. It's not so fun keep playing through the number of misogynistic comments has only increased. Oh, sorry to hear it, Shelly. Come to NA. I don't know if it's better, but maybe it will be. I'd like to believe it would be. Yeah, our left lane entirely left Rift 2. Crab and I were really confused. Yeah, it's just a big misplay. Time for a voice changer, Sally. True. I approve of this message. It's usually pretty mellow for Alice over here, honestly. Oh, that's good to hear. Shelly, come to NA. Better region, just saying. Oh no! We left our Calico. So So, okay, the reason, just want to go over this really quick. The reason why I don't want you guys to back up and clear this wave is because your wave is matching it right now. It's not actually pressuring the walker. And had you been up there with your Calico is strong with ult. You guys have kill potential here if you go help her. But we backed up and we gave up the pressure she was creating. Come to NA as in what? Come to America? I think I'd be shot on sight. Is that what people think of the US? It's hilarious. No, you should just play under North American servers.
It's like walking.
Kind of a useless slowing hex, but that's okay.
You're delightful, Calico.
That's unfortunate.
It's time to spend these souls.
I don't know that it's worth it for you to take 400 damage to this camp. I probably would have played outside of the room and cleared it from outside and just cleared it a little bit slower. Vent stuns are inconsistent. The problem is that Bebop just doesn't have great camp clear, and so just not taking the damage is usually the way to go. Unless you have really quick camp clear and it can be offset by like one heal minion, usually I opt not to take the damage. Luckily, they're not really pressuring you a whole lot, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, I would have healed really quick. I guess you're getting it right here, but...
Headed to Broadway.
Anytime I buy Veilwalker, I hit a Veil in the secret shop really fast.
You're on borrowed time.
I've been liking Intensifying Magazine on Bebop, to be honest. He has the same ammo as McGinnis. I like Intensifying Magazine on almost anybody that can use it. It's the highest amount of weapon damage you can get out of a tier 2. I was using it on Page for a bit to test it because your fire rate is so low. You actually hit the ramp up pretty quick, but it doesn't pair well with Express Shot, and that's like really good on Page, so I stopped using it for that reason, but it's a great item. I go for Tesla bullets later anyway, so it's a nice booster to my builds. Yeah, not bad. Oh, awkward. I probably would have re-engaged on that Mina. She has no ult and no bats. I think you just kill her there for free. Falco said she was coming in, felt like it took her forever to get in. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think you needed to leave when Calico did. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is I think you had kill potential on that Mina. Especially if you caught her out in the open with slowing Hex, even if she doesn't have bats, because then you could maybe ult her, and she wouldn't be able to get away with her like movement speed and dash being cut. But I think you could have gotten free bomb damage, probably a whole clip of ammo into her uppercut, and some ult damage. It may have been a kill. She had no bats and no ult. There's like nothing she was gonna do to you. Thing is, the couple thousand soul difference doesn't matter so much because you hit your 4.8k spike in spirit, so... Unnecessary hook, by the way. Okay, this is another really common mistake with low elo bebops, is they hook when because it's Easy. That was completely unnecessary hook. What you should have done is just uppercut her into the wall when you saw her, and then attached bomb and shot her to death, and then just saved hook if you needed it when she was like potentially getting away or whatever. But that hook was just like completely unnecessary. She like went right past you, and then you like waited, lined up the hook, hit it. You were just like wasting time so that you could hit the hook. It's just unnecessary. That's a good hook. There you go. Oh, you could have parried him there. We're about to take a lot of damage. I love running at people from behind to uppercut and bomb them, and then hook them back in when they run away with all their stamina. That's exactly what you should be doing, Shelly. Great hook, by the way. Slowing hooks, nice. I think you used it, my UI's just bugged. I saw the aura around him, so let me just like... Yeah, you threw it on there. Yep, okay. He got hit with 3 there. It wasn't enough, honestly. Screw Infernus. You know what I mean? If you could buy more than 1 slowing hex, you would. Bridge buffs. They're not contesting Rift. I would have gotten the bridge buff. I would only go over here if they were contesting. There's no reason for you to be here and give up the bridge buff. Bebop friendly hook is alt casts. That would be insane if you could hook through teammates just because you left clicked it instead of alt casted it. Wait, why didn't we bomb there? Tried to, it didn't go off? Oh, okay. Yeah, we need to be looking at the minimap and clock more. It seems like it's one of the things we're missing a lot. Get ready to hook. Hopefully you're ready. Nice. Hook, hook. Oh! Little late. Oh, I'm actually surprised that didn't hit. Veilwalker's up. Coach Blatant back at it again. Yeah, minimap and clock. We're just not paying attention to the minimap enough, fellas. You and Crab need to do a better job at looking at the minimap. Now, with the 5-minute bridge buff you were on, but like the tier 1 camp and the sinners, those we missed, and bridge buffs in general, or throughout the rest of the game, it seems like we're not quite aware of how late into the game it is.
A new era is coming.
Coach Blayton's job is easy, just has to keep saying minimap and timers. Exactly. Why do you think I have this job? It's all my IQ can handle. Honestly, it's a little bit too much at times. Trying to keep you in business, otherwise I would improve. I appreciate it. See, like, this made a lot more sense to stay in there and just fight. I probably would have reloaded, but you're clearing camps quick enough to where it makes sense. You don't have to hide. Bridge buffs and mid boss win games. Remember it and call out your team's names. Love it.
Hey, you're making history.
You guys have such a massive lead. We should be looking for picks around our Calico and Haze. And by we, I mean you. You're the pick hero, along with like the Case and Calico ganks. You should be playing next to them and trying to help them with hooks and extra CC on top of all their damage that they have. Exactly, Shelly. Nice. Alright. Nice. I think I was just noticing Calico was huge since I felt like she made questionable choices early on. I see. I feel like her choices early on were fine overall, at least the ones that I've seen. I think we just didn't play around them well enough.
Be brave.
Like when she would come in, Urge buffs by the way, I hope you're going for it. Like when she would come in, we would like go clear wave instead of apply pressure. Ah, we did notice it. Good, good. Judge too quickly and stop paying attention to her? Yeah. Good to recognize it. Ooh. Tragic. I still don't see enough people buy knockdown against Kelvin. For me, knockdown against Kelvin feels like it can be a waste of money at times because all you're doing is stopping him from like using his ice path and getting very far with it, whereas he's mostly a support. Be like buying knockdown to stop Paige. Just feels like we should be using knockdown on other things. Like if it were me, it would be knockdown against the Mina because she doesn't have bats available or something, or she just used bats, you know, something like that. I just wouldn't buy knockdown at all this game, to be honest. But for me, knockdown against Kelvin is just a big investment to counter a support's escape.
York is under attack.
Petition for Slowing Hex to immediately cancel his Ice Path and Infernus Dash. I don't know. Slowing Hex is too cheap to cancel those abilities, but to prevent them from being used is already fair enough in my opinion. I mean, as much as I'd love to see it because I hate Kelvin, I do think it would be unfair. Say there's a 7 and a Kelvin, etc. Yeah, but you're buying the knockdown for 7, right? Like, you'll use it on the Kelvin if you have it available and 7 doesn't have all. But I wouldn't buy... Maybe I'm just misunderstanding what you're saying. But I wouldn't buy... I wouldn't buy knockdown for Kelvin. I'd use it on him if I bought it for somebody else. Does that make sense? But you... Like, I understood what you were saying as you buy knockdown to counter Kelvin. For me, it's like just way too big of an investment to counter a support's escape. Good call. I don't know who made the call, but it's the right one. Cancels Minabats mid-cast. Doesn't cancel it, just prevents it. If she were to dispel it, she would be able to recast bats. So it doesn't cancel it. It just prevents the further recasts for the duration of the Slowing Hex. True, but sounds like it canceled to me. I think you're just saying that because you wanted to cancel Infernus and Kelvin. I mean, more thinking of Kelvin as another reason to go knockdown. Sure, he could be considered in the running, but usually you're buying it for somebody else and then you just use it on him conveniently. YouTubers get cancelled until they put out an apology video. Cancel me, bro. Cancel with the path to forgiveness. The problem is, like, if you cancel Infernus or Kelvin Dash and then they dispel Sling Hex, it's still canceled. Whereas Mina can just, like, recast. So it would be unfair to them compared to other heroes.
For your pitiful lives.
Nice hook.
We're a hell of a team.
Not sure I like this decision from you guys, but
Means a lot that you're looking out
it's
for.
too late now. Yeah. Furnace has 4 charges. He can clear and recast. Kinda. How long is the time between his charges, though? Think the call is to push right here? In my opinion, the call is to get kills so that we either can push right or push into their base through blue. But we gave up like 30 seconds of like buying items and stuff. I don't know what we're doing exactly, but you guys have rejuves and you'd already killed Mina, so you had numbers advantage. Like, we just want to keep snowballing kills and staggering their deaths. If we can keep them from having a 6v6 fight for the next like 3 minutes because we've staggered deaths properly, we can just slowly take their entire base. But we're like giving them breathing room. Feel like we should have just pushed right in position behind their walker. It's one way. I would have gone for kills first. I wouldn't want to siege the walker with 5 of them, but
And for my next trip.
feels like people are afraid to walk behind walkers in this elo.
Success looks like.
Yeah, you have to set up plays like that in lower elo. You just have to communicate with your team.
Haze is coming for them.
Or just ask them, like, hey, Calico, can you come with me behind the walker? I'm gonna hook somebody, let's kill him. You know, something simple like that. But, like, this is great. You guys are staggering the deaths. You're doing it about 30 seconds late. I would have preferred you guys did all of this with rejuves and a wave, but what you guys are doing is the right play. You're staggering kills, and then you're slowly pushing their objectives and their base. But oh, awkward. You're super dead. Honestly though, where's our wave? We just shoved that lane. Your wave is just way far behind you. When you guys shoved the lane, you weren't shoving with the wave, you were just shoving against theirs. My calls in a situation like this are often something like, we're up a player, we can make something happen if we push lanes. That's a good comm, Shelly. I'm usually a little bit more specific. I'm usually like, yo, Hayes, you have ult, you think you and I can try and get a pick over in left really quick so that we can keep staggering kills? You know, something like that. Sorry, I don't know why we're sitting through a death timer. Let me fast forward here. I wouldn't have boosted, because you don't actually want to contest the rift in a 2v5. You do want to get the rift minions, like you want to stop them from shoving the walker, but you don't want to fight the rift when they have resist and whatnot. Ooh, nice try. Oh my gosh. Surely she doesn't get out. Yeah, wasted boost. Yeah, I think you just didn't recognize it until it was too late. You were just like, must hurry get to Rift. You didn't realize, like, oh, I don't want to fight them with resist and numbers disadvantage. We want to give Rift and then just save the walker, which unfortunately we were unable to do. But It's good practice, Shelly. Very good practice. If I remember right, I only saw Mina on minimap and thought they had the audacity to only send her to Rift. Oh, I see. Still, in a 1v1 against the Resist, that's just definitely not it. Are you guys baiting this? Oh, Calico's got vision up top. Never mind. Okay. This is actually a really risky mid-boss to just send without Calico vision, because they have really good contests. Nice hook to stop the dome. I know they have 2 dead, but they had Warden, Infernus, and Kelvin ults. Inside of a dome, I think you guys lose that fight if you don't know that they're setting up for it. But Calico was up above and had vision. So the best play, like in high, let me put it this way. In high elo, you guys risk losing that fight because your 7 ult is going to get cancelled unless he has unstop already. Okay, he has unstop, so it won't matter with 7 ult. But you guys have to deal with Warden, Infernus, and Dome in a very small area where they're getting a bunch of healing and have infinite area of effect damage. And you guys have very little to counter it outside of the 7 ult. So Calico's vision is the only reason why we could continue to do that. The best play would have been to bait this and then see if you could get more picks. But they had really good mid-boss contests. So in higher elo, you guys could potentially be throwing the game here with that. And the safest thing to do, even with the soul advantage, the safest thing to do is to bait and then fight. Force them to use their ults to a point where they can't still rejuve crystals. Like, bring it to half, then fall off and pick someone. Exactly. That would have been the safest thing to do. But you guys did have Calico that had vision. Calico saw people push up here, so you knew they weren't doing a full contest from the 2 side stairs. So it was okay to finish there. I'm just saying, if you didn't have that, that's a bait mid-boss. That's very scary to just complete that mid-boss there. Oh, what a good viscous punch. GG. Okay, so really quick, another thing I want to touch on when it comes to mid-boss, and maybe it's easiest to think of it this way, because when I started describing it, your first thought was, well, they have 2 down. Which is the reason why you guys even started mid-boss to begin with. But what I would really want you to think about when it comes to, should we finish this mid-boss or should we bait it? In general, ask yourself, if we lose this mid-boss, what are the stakes? Kind of like what Posh Pop was saying. Like, what is the risk? They had all your walkers, so if they killed you guys and got mid-boss rejuve crystals, they take your base. So you're risking your entire base. If we win mid-boss, we get their base. So what advantages do we have that are going to make it a higher likelihood that we win the mid-boss? And honestly, they had the better mid-boss ults. Especially if 7 didn't get inside the dome with his ult and unstop. But just that aside, the only thing you guys had going for you was a soul advantage. The thing that I would ask myself, if I'm deciding whether I should bait it or not, is think of it as, can they realistically steal mid-boss if we don't finish it for them? So if you guys can bait it And if you lose the fight, are you going to lose it so severely that they still finish mid-boss and still take your base? Or do you finish mid-boss and risk them taking it because you finished mid-boss for them? So baiting mid-boss applies the same amount of pressure as finishing it without incurring near as many of the risks. Because if you fight them, even if they win the fight, hopefully you got enough kills or got enough of their ults that even if they do finish mid-boss, they can't actually siege your base. Does that make sense? I think the most mental overload play I've ever done is go mid-boss while the enemy team has to defend a walker and deal with Rift. Yeah, that's a lot. Baiting mid-boss just feels like an impossible ask in this elo. It's either take it or don't. You just have to communicate it way before. You have to communicate it way before you guys are shooting at mid-boss. But that's only if you didn't have the vision from Calico, right? This is all theoretical and hypothetical. It's not actually based on your game because you had the vision from Calico. Calico saw 2 enemies not contesting. But I would just say to my team, they have really good mid-boss contest ults. Can we cancel at half after audio queue and look for a fight? Can we look to maybe get a couple more kills? Yep, good information. Okay, the impact that could have changed from you two, Samurai, you said it felt like a low impact game. I would say in general, you're not playing around being a pick hero as much because you're playing Gun Bebop. I think you need to be playing closer to your strong heroes, a Calico in particular in this instance, and trying to set up plays with them, or Hazel, things like that. I think you need to be communicating with them, hey, let's go for a kill here, and try and hit that hook and get that pick with those players. So I feel like you felt it was low impact because you weren't playing with the right people at the right time all the time. A lot of times you were like clearing a camp or pushing waves or something like that, whereas you could be playing with your Calico more, or you could be helping your 7 more, things like that. Yeah, move with them or have them play on you. That is a pick hero's role, right? So you play with strong heroes or you play around teammates that are already roaming. Yeah, what Shelly says is really important. Basically, you're just trying to have a buddy all the time. You're not trying to clear camps or get some more souls or whatever because your damage is a icing to the hook cupcake, right? Your CC is what you're playing for. For Crab Shack, I wasn't watching his gameplay, so it's hard for me to say, but Crab Shack probably just needs to play a little bit more aggressive based on what I saw out of lane. Probably just needs to know a little bit better on when he should push his advantage. But for your impact in particular, I think you just were playing more of like, you were trying to play like off carry Bebop, which was just completely unnecessary when you should have been playing pick hero. You can build gun, but I feel like you were not playing as a pick hero for your teammates. Do you have any questions, Samurai? Do you feel like it was helpful? I think what Shelly's trying to say, or the amended thing, would be like, don't share farm with your teammates, but be close enough that you would be in radius to be able to rotate over and help. Not actually hover them, but like be close enough that you would be able to rotate over. Unless it's super late game, yeah. I generally actually wouldn't worry about my side laner carries throughout the early and mid game at all. I would just be playing with other roamers or people that can capitalize well off of your picks, because that is not the carries. The carries like sub 30 minutes are not the people you want to be playing around. But like Calico being huge in the mid game, that's who you want to play. You play off your carries in the late game. So after they've hit like the 40k soul mark, 35 to 40k soul mark, and they're not solo farming, they're just killing bad guys, that's who you play off of and protect. But in general, in the mid game, you want to play off of your off carries, your roamers, your spirit nukers in general. I didn't play Dota, so I can't tell you what the positions are and whether that's accurate, but I'll just go ahead and assume you're correct. Did Bebop carry? Absolutely. All right. Bullet, are you ready for a VOD review today? I got position 2 from watching Deadlock videos. As far as I understand it, is like off carries. The position 1 through 5 or 6 or whatever comes from Dota, and I never played it. So people do try to what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's I feel like the word is superimpose. But I'm tired, so I'm not sure that's right. But anyway, they try and put it into Deadlock, you know what I mean? Like they try and equate it. And yeah, it's just not the same. I can give you the game. I think I did well on that and could use a VOD review on it. Okay, this is the one. I got this game that I just pulled up from... Wait, is this even you? Are you not... Oh, here you are. I got this game from the Request a Coach, so if you have a different one, let me know. That one was so long ago, I forgot about that. No worries. Give me a new one if you want it. Whatever you want. You just give me the VOD review, and we'll take a look at it. Up to you. I'll give a new one? Sure. To be honest, Shelly, I'm not looking at Automod at all. I'm using a multi-chat through Caster Labs, so I don't see if a message gets held. And if I go over to Twitch right now and try to take a look at it, it would be hard for me to like actually see it because it will just update starting now, so it doesn't show me past messages. So I actually don't know what the message was or why it got blocked, but this is the new player as well. Okay, so are we killing two birds with one stone? Is this mostly your review, or did you want me to do his review? What are we hoping to get out of this? Okay, we'll view you and see if he wants it reviewed later. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't know, Shelly. I mean, Automod generally is just set up to keep it family friendly. I don't know to what extent it does that because sometimes really odd words are blocked. Like I've had to put in permitted phrases because like even creeps from melee creeps was blocked. So it's like literally a professional team in Deadlock. I had to allow it, but I don't know. Automod has a mind of its own. Let me try to rephrase it, I guess. Yeah, do your best. Do your best. Okay. But let's go ahead and jump into this. By the way, I'll apologize in advance. I didn't give Samurai this, what's the... Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so tired. What is the word? I don't know, warning, I guess? I didn't preface his video with this, but I'm too tired to do notes. So I'm not doing notes today. And Samurai says he doesn't need the notes, so it worked out well. But today, there's just no notes. It's just VOD reviews. I'm too tired. We'll call them budget VOD reviews. No notes, just me talking at you.
The world is corrupt and beyond saving. But if you summon the Archmother, she can help you change that.
I intake my feedback auditorially.
Dramatic, stylish, I love it.
Did it just not like me shortening position? Oh, it might have thought you were saying like POS or something. Yeah, that's probably it. There you go. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't see automatic. I don't see blocked messages because it's just not. It's just not in the multi-chat I use. Bullet, I would say in general, 7s are probably going to play pretty passive because their lane is absolute dookie. Yeah, I just tried it, got automated. There you go. They thought you were trying to say POS instead of position for short. So there you have it. Now we know. Did you think you were gonna hit Ivy with that one? Awkward. Awkward. What will I do when I need to talk about the cash register systems at restaurants and retail stores? I mostly said that, well, actually, I don't know what I've said so far. Really, I said that it's okay that your 7's playing passive. Most of them will because 7's lane is dookie. And then I did have a question about one of your 1s. You just like used it on a minion, your bash down. And I was kind of confused as to why that happens, but I think you thought you were going to hit Ivy. That's what I determined. And then you also didn't use infinite sliding properly and you got denied on an orb.
Someone's looking to make a statement.
But that's just me being nitpicky because I know that that's an issue we've been coaching on. Who's your friend playing, by the way, Bullet? The new player. Shelly said also secret Bermuda triangle lane tech. If you want to shoot them when they're trying to secure their orbs. I feel like not enough people do this. Their acid, the paradox. Okay.
You ain't stopping me.
Ooh. Nice try. Dang, that Lash is an absolute monster to not parry there. Bridge buffs. Yeah, I feel like I had a very rough lane. I actually don't even know what happened with your last death necessarily, like what I would have improved on it per se. I honestly think they just do a lot of damage and you soaked it all. I feel like 7 never really took any risks. Yeah, 7's lane is just so garbage. I maybe would have like. So this is like my personal. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is like my personal playstyle with Billy that you may be able to play around, but I'll try and get rebuttal, and then I'll use it so that they don't expect the quick second parry, and then I can knock them for free and take advantage of my massive melee damage and potentially like change the momentum of the lane. Do you know what I mean? It's like they don't expect Billy to get rebuttal because they're the ones getting rebuttal against Billy a lot. And if it's early enough in the game, a lot of times they don't expect it. I was thinking about that. I like rushing Grit and Lifesteal Punch. No, I think melee Lifesteal is definitely the play. I'm just saying, in general, you can try... That's super unfortunate. Yeah. You can try getting rebuttal because it will shock people. Especially because you're one of the best heroes to capitalize on the melee, or on the parry. So like if they do get baited by an early rebuttal parry because they weren't ready for the cooldown to come off and they didn't expect you to buy it, your melee damage is so fat, you take advantage of it better than most heroes. It's one of the things that can help you maybe in a lane that you're struggling in. That's just my suggestion. It's just what I do, that's all. It's just a personal preference, really. I didn't even see him go up there. Yeah, he went up there right after you killed the, what's his face? You killed the Ivy, and then Lash went up there too. All good, though. But just play around with these things. So like Grit is another great way to take trades, but play around with these things. It doesn't always have to be an optimal pick for it to work really well for you. Do you know what I mean by that? Like I would play in Smite, I would play builds that weren't supposed to work or be optimal or whatever, but because they worked really well for my playstyle, I would use them.
I'm blasting, baby. I'll grab him.
Nice ult, by the way, pulling him out. You guys did commit 2 ults for him there, but... I suck with my ults, I need to get better at those. Ooh, that hit you? That's wild, actually. See, if you had rebuttal right here, boom. You parried both of them right there. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. No, it really is just personal preference. I don't think rebuttal's always good on him. It's just something that you can take advantage of really well. Hopefully you calmed the Ivy's ulting somewhere. Rebuttal Nation, rise up. My brother and I will joke. I'll be like, yo, I'm trying this new build. Don't judge me. And he asks, does it have rebuttal? And every time I say yes, he's like, then it's fine. Because I'm so good at parrying people. Like, I'm just... It's something that I got really good at when I was, like, Ritualist. And so I'll just get, like, the nastiest parries on people. And when I have rebuttal, I just get it more often. And so anytime I have rebuttal, he just calls my build good.
I see Infernus.
I love parry baiting people on Ivy. Yeah, heavy melee canceling is annoying.
Ivy's missing.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Dang, if you get rebuttal this game, you're definitely getting it late. If I buy rebuttal, it's usually pretty early. Awkward. Nice parry though.
nothing to me. The party's here, pal.
This ult was unnecessary because of
Damn,
how
put
low
not
he
much of a
was, but
fight.
that's okay.
I can't help but notice you haven't dropped me off yet.
Headed to Greenwich.
Well, it would seem I'm going for a run.
Ignoring the bridge buff there isn't the end of the world because he did have 3 people pressuring his guardian, which is why I didn't really mention it.
Since we last talked. Try not to mess this up, William.
I thought it was the enemy lash ulting, so I figured to ult Abrams with me. Oh, I see. You didn't recognize that it was the Sinclair ult. Okay.
Celeste, you are full of surprises, aren't you?
The good shit.
Enjoying the show?
If you think this is impressive, wait until I get going.
Our yellow guardian has been defeated.
Dang, that melee sound was like way closer than it actually was. Like my parry. Oh, nice try. That was a really nice try. Unfortunately, you were just a little late. Like you knew he was gonna try and melee your teammate there, but it was a good try. Okay, sorry. Let me catch up on chat here. Also, I've been starting to make people CC themselves after wasting all their stamina by just spamming heavy melees. Like if I'm fighting 2v2, it's niche but it's powerful. Yeah, self-CC is very strong. Especially if you have a teammate that can capitalize off of it. Dang, you guys are losing substantially in blue lane here.
If they want to mess with the goat, they're gonna regret it.
Oof, they got the rift too.
I won't let you stop me.
Nice. Ooh. It's unfortunate that we don't get any
No
value
one
out
is
of the
stopping me from
parry there.
getting what I want.
I will tell you this, Bullet, in advance. Be very careful about after parrying. Now, I would continue doing it for now. I just want this in the back of your brain, okay? I would be very careful about after parrying, instantly going for a melee. In Eternus, after somebody parries, we parry them. Because they go for a light melee thinking, well, if I'm going to take a heavy melee, I might as well trade some damage here because I just burnt parry on nothing. And you will get insta-parried. And then you're knocked for 2 seconds. So I just want it in the back of your mind. In low elo, I don't think anybody's realistically going to punish you there. But there's going to come a day when you parry nothing and you go for a light melee right after to try and compensate for not actually triggering parry on anything. And you get parried and you're going to go, dang it, I'm finally at that elo. Or this guy's just really good at the video game. But what you do when somebody parries nothing is you dash and parry at them, and then they get knocked. It's just free. It's just one of those like being 2 steps ahead things that you get from being high Eternus. I just want it in the back of your mind. I'm just bringing it up now. Because right now, you're never going to get punished for that. It's like a very high elo thing. Like, not even low Eternus players take advantage of this properly. I've seen Eternus 4s, which are like top 1,000 or whatever, or close to it, that do not understand or take advantage of this concept. So I just want it in the back of your brain. Hopefully we're going for bridge buff here.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Kill me if you can.
Our yellow walker has been destroyed.
Nice. Very nice.
They got what was coming to me.
I would have weeped in one more light melee before going for the bash down because you had time for it. Just gonna dang, these guys just send heavy melees. What is this game? Try and prop Stalker. There we go. See? See what you could have done there? You could have parried him. So, okay. This is... I will have you start implementing this on your end. But if somebody parries nothing, don't just melee them. Get ready to parry them. And then get the free melees after that. So I do want you to implement this strategy. I don't want you to necessarily expect it to be used against you. But you see what just happened there, right? You played close to him. He parried nothing. What does he do? Oh no, I'm going to take a lot of melee damage. Might as well trade it. You parry him for free there. He dies. He 100% dies here if he gets parried. So I do want you to keep this in mind for the way that you play.
And away we go. Stay strong, buddy. Are you actually going to drop me off or just run around New York?
Yes, Sinclair. Show them your greatness.
I hate this urn pathing, by the way. I would, in general, like, I would want you to go look at some urn pathing, some, like, routes, and I want you to see how they run it and get better at that type of movement, because you're going to utilize that movement throughout the entire game, not just when you're running the urn. But, like, the way that you ran through blue just now, we didn't use, like, any wall jumps or anything. We didn't corner boost. Like, there's just a lot that could have been improved there. And you should be moving around the map like that all the time. But it's easiest to practice when you're doing an urn route. What's your thought on the build so far? Build is great. I would have liked to see you hit your spirit spike before building into more gun. So, like, once you... I wouldn't have bought weakening headshot. I would have bought something like bullet resist shredder or something like that. But that's just my opinion. I also tend to go a little bit more green earlier, but nice. That melee. Okay, I do want to let you know. Okay. First off, I want to let you know this was really well played overall. You kept your head so level during this fight. I can tell whether you were calm or not. You played calm. Because every single time they went for a melee, you parried it, which requires a certain level of, like, thinking straight. You were in the zone for sure. However, you made a massive blunder partially into this. Okay? I want to show it to you. Okay. Great parry here.
Nice try, buddy.
Great parry here. Great melee here, because he's not out of the stun yet. Now he is. Great parry here. Terrible melee here. Terrible melee here. Abrams parries you here in higher elo, by the way, and you die. You're lucky Abrams' dum-dum and pressed his 1 and his 2 instead, but you get parried here and die. So you were doing so well, but you missed the timings. Eventually you get to a timing to where you cannot send a heavy melee after parrying 2 people. The second one will be up in time. So this would have been a light melee moment and then playing against the Abrams after. I think we would have won that if my slips came back and helped. Oh, definitely. I mean, you owned here. But what I'm getting at, and the thing I want you to keep in mind, is that this heavy melee should have gotten you killed. Abrams should parry you right here. Parried. And then you die. So that should have been a light melee. And then you play out the game. Okay? That was a massive blunder. Up until then, it was played really well. You did excellently with the parries and you were in the zone. That was like really well done. And Celeste trades you, which is huge. But you started to mess up the timings a little bit and you sent a heavy melee after parrying a second person, and you do not have time for that with that much delay. That's something I won't even hit again. No, you hit those from time to time. It'll happen. You just have to understand the timing of the parry stun. Blatant thoughts on current state of Celeste? I don't know that the Celeste has really changed a whole lot. I think she's a little bit overtuned in some areas. And overall, she's a really strong pick. She's just a high skill ceiling. Like, it's... it requires good movement. It requires a good use of her Light Eater. It requires good use of taking smart trades. And her ult is insane. But...
It's amazing what someone is capable of, isn't it?
I think she's mostly overtuned, I would say. That hotfix didn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, it seems like... It seems like they're ignoring the parts of her kit that are making her overtuned, is what it feels like. She just has everything, and Light Eater is arguably the best ability in the game to take trades with. I don't know that anything can trade against it properly. Considering 100% efficiency between the two heroes, I think Light Eater comes out on top every single time. It's just too strong. I would also say, really quick, almost always in low elo, even high elo, you can get a light melee on a Lash that uses ground strike. So anytime he comes in, you can light melee him and just proc like blasted and melee lifesteal and stuff. I wouldn't do a heavy melee, that's a little bit scary. Oh. But you can light melee almost every time. It's just free damage trade.
They can't hold us down.
Honestly, make it where she cannot be in the air constantly and she'll be fine, in my opinion.
Victor shares his pain.
I don't know how to balance her, to be honest.
My friend, survival is paramount.
I think she should have a lower base for Light Eater. I think it does too much damage early and mid game. I think it's fine for late game the way it ramps up, but I think early and mid game is too strong.
The only person that sets fire in my city, the Knickerbockers win the championship, and I'm fine with a little pump.
Nice go.
But in general,
Nice work.
Lifting.
I don't see how you get out of this alive. Because your Celeste was too low for you to engage there, and then she died.
ready to start
I
a
think we
riot.
just hit green spike with this buy. Or, wait, hold up. Yeah. Yeah, we just hit green spike. And we still don't have Spirit Spike. We almost have Spirit Spike, but just not quite.
Ready to start a riot.
Defend green.
Kill them all.
I definitely would have had Spirit Spike earlier and Green Spike earlier. I think we built a little bit too much gun early, but that's just personal preference. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Bullet, I would get good at punching this and the minion at the same time. It'll save you a little bit of time. Yeah, I think I should have gotten BRS sooner. I 100% agree. BRS would have been the same value as Weakening Headshot, but it would have given you Spirit Spike, so it would have been more valuable. You know what I mean? And the rebuttal is just like way too late in my opinion. I would have gotten rebuttal like way earlier. But that's, again, personal preference.
I
there's just bigger fish to fry than your build. I mean, like, there's just more things that are going to have a bigger impact on your consistency to rank up and improve than your build order. These are just minor things. Like, hitting spikes is a big idea in general that we want to be tracking, but I'm more worried about your micro and your positioning and whatnot. I also feel like we're not hitting timers as well as we should be, especially in lane phase. Yeah, I bought it because their Abrams likes to punch. There are better melee resist items in my opinion, but yeah, I mean, that's why I would have gotten it earlier, is for that reason, but getting it this late, I feel like you may have just gotten more value out of something else like Torment Pulse or something that gives you the melee resist, but also just like adds a little bit of damage to you, helps you with the Spear Spike, like, I don't know, something like that. There's just more ways to accomplish that goal. I don't know if Rebuttal's worth it for
Hands dirty.
melee resist, but if you do just want like the lower parry cooldown, then I would have just gotten it over there. This is a good ult. Ooh. Nice. Good parry.
You want to mess with me, Bebop?
I would have gotten it for the lower parry cooldown earlier in the game. But if you want it for melee resist, there's better items for melee resist. Like, you already have point blank. I don't know that the DR from Rebuttal is really going to help that much. It's mostly going to be for reduced parry cooldown. That Bebop is slap happy, for sure. It was punch heaven in this match. I had a lot of fun. I love burger boxing. It's my favorite way to play Deadlock. When I have a lane that I've gone 0-6, but it's been a bunch of punching and meleeing, I'm still having fun. It's my favorite way to play the game. Yeah. I want to believe that you guys were just communicating here on who should get that buff or something, because that was weird.
Not many problems in that.
By the way, if I went to NA servers, I would have 130 millisecond ping, so that's not good. That's why you just move here, and that's also why, or that's just what you have to deal with if you want to not have misogynistic EU players, you know what I mean? It's a give and a take.
They ain't putting up much.
Let's push York. Defend green.
No, I actually can't play with high ping. I'm 100% like you. Like, when I have high ping, I'm like, alright, time to change games or something. This is miserable. I cannot realistically live in the US, so yeah. I mean, that's a sentiment that a lot of people share. I think I would have pushed that. I think I would have run into their mouths just now, but that's just because I'm aggressive. Those 3 randoms pissed me off, TBH. No. They didn't fight with us? Lame.
Let's dance.
We're a little late on the 1. Okay, you're aware of how you can hold your 1, right? Like, you can delay its activation and hold it in the air for a second? No? Okay. We'll go over it after this. I would get used to, near the end of your ult casting, holding your 1 in the air so that you can land it without any sort of delay when they get chained in. It's just going to help you not miss near as many of your 1s after your ult, because you were a little slow on that last one. Okay.
They took out Paradox.
only the beginning.
When they think they're getting away, I'll pull them back in. Swing!
We didn't see that? Okay. Noted.
Good luck.
Heather, thanks for the subscription. What's going on? Long time no see. Appreciate you. Thanks for your support.
Don't go running off on me.
That was a crazy light melee, by the way. You should have gotten parried there. Well, to be fair, you do have indom, so it doesn't matter too much, but still. Nice. That was actually really good awareness, Bullet. Props to you for not going up the rope. Most people would have chased there and not realized their kill potential by just shooting at him. That was really good. No superior duration on Billy is a sad day moment. Oh, I don't mind not playing without superior duration. I almost never build superior duration on Billy. Personal preference, but I just don't.
Drop me off yet. Be careful! There's two of us!
Yeah, that was really well played on your part. This is gonna be interesting. You have Indom, but with Lashel, I would have been very wary of pushing in for that shrine. I'm glad you guys are leaving, but that was... Your team could have been punished. Super extra long dash plus more unstoppable on max ult and more blasted is just too good to pass up for me. Yeah. For me, my engagements aren't long enough for superior cooldown to matter a whole lot. I'd much rather have other items. Superior duration's a great item if I'm like full build already or something. But... Oh, that's unfortunate. This is a great ult, but you need to back up. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, a lot happened there that was kind of out of your control, but overall it was really well played. The reason I said you need to back up is because you want to be chaining them into the 7 ult, obviously, and you were pressing a little bit too much W since they were still chains, but...
Mid-boss has arrived. Let your rage spill forth, Billy.
You guys may be able to end here if your team focuses shrines instead of base guardians that are resistance. Nice. Down the patron. Down the patron, down the patron. Yikes. Maybe the team is gonna finish it? Doesn't look like it though. You guys are 6v1 not downing the patron. That's really not good. They kept calling mid? Yeah, you just get mid after them. You down the patron and then get mid. Your minions might do it for you, unless Sinclair's the one hero pushing here, but the patron needs to be downed.
You know, this used to go to everybody till the man decided it was too good.
The hidden king must die!
You want a piece of me?
You're gonna have to do a hell of a lot better than that.
Oh, nice try. It was a really good attempt there to parry for your team. Pop ult. Yeah. There we go. GG. All right, Bullet. Really good game, actually. A few things. Not enough wall doming. Probably true.
Let's do an encore.
I would say I would like you to start getting used to, if somebody wastes parry in front of you, get ready to parry them. So don't get overexcited about getting the free melee damage. You'll do that after you parry. So take it a little bit slower, take a step back. If somebody wastes a parry on you, let's go ahead and get ready to parry them. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of that. Second thing is, in lane, if your teammate is playing really passive like that, you're going to have to play around that. So you're going to have to play around giving up lane pressure so that you can maybe punish for overextensions. Like if they overextend on you guys, then you guys can punish on that. Or just do more box routing in between waves. Like after 3 minutes, just do a box route. Thanks for the posture check, Shelly. Those are a few things that I would keep in mind for lane. When it comes to build, really try not to miss out on spikes. Other than that, build order doesn't actually matter a whole lot, and the items you're buying don't actually matter a whole lot. You can pretty much get away with anything, but you sat around with no spirit spike for the majority of that game. Green spike as well. Now you can delay spirit or green spike on Billy if you want to play for a little bit more damage throughout the mid game, and that's a fine playstyle. It's actually my preferred one, but you did not have a spirit spike. You only had a gun spike, so you were just nerfing yourself unintentionally. I'd be careful of doing that in the future. Again, if we're talking about itemization, when it comes to rebuttal, buy it early or don't buy it at all. Getting the lower parry cooldown is going to be really useful early in the game, but later in the game, if you're going for melee resist, there's just better items to do that with, so I probably wouldn't have waited that long to get it. When it comes to delaying your Billy slam, this is what I would want to see from you. So like, if we have Bash Down is the name of the ability I'm looking for. Sorry, brain not working. If you hold your one, it'll delay the slam. Okay? So what I generally want to see you do is, like, if I have my ult coming, when it's getting close, just hold it and then let go when they get chained in. You know what I mean? So you just hold one and it'll go slower. This is regular timing. And then let me get this is just, yeah, okay. So this is regular timing, and then this is me holding it all the way down. Okay, and then you can amend that, right? So I can do this and then let it go right as he's coming in. Do you see what I mean? No, this has nothing to do with duration extension. This is just holding my one in will delay it, and then just let go when you want to hit them. Okay, I want you to be doing that with chain gang. So anytime you have chain gang, sorry, let me kill him and then get a full health. Anytime you chain gang multiple targets, I want you to start channeling it so that it lands right when they get there, right? This will take practice to learn the timing, but it will make sure that you don't miss it, or that they don't, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a scenario, but like they don't immune it, right? Like they don't get Mina Bats off right after the chain gang went away, so they no longer have that, the movement ability penalty, or like Gargoyle from Ivy or something. You're going to get that damage way more consistently. So it's just like a micro thing that I would want you to focus on. I'm trying to think. I think that's mostly what I wanted you to work on there.
I just hope I'm not too late to save him.
Your positioning was good. I feel like there were times when you were saying something to me, like, if Celeste was there, we would have won the fight. I think that's a lack of communication issue. I think when you're coming into a fight and you're going to frontline for people, you need to let them know that's what's happening so that they have a chance to say, bro, I've got a massive bag, I'm not fighting. Or, bro, I'm way too low, I don't feel good about this. Or whatever. See you, Samurai. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate your support. Have a good day. We'll catch you in a later stream, or maybe later today if I'm still streaming and you come back. But Bullet, in general, I want you to be communicating with your teammates, because it's oh, I wish my 7 was more aggressive. Tell him when you're going in so that he can be selectively aggressive. Not aggressive all the time with you, but just like, hey 7, I'm going to try and go in here on this tier 2 camp. Will you hover me so that if they fight us, we can play together? You know what I mean? Like, let him be aggressive in small instances, since his playstyle isn't overall aggressive. So you have to fill that gap with communication. Other than that, I think your game was actually really strong. There's not a lot that I would coach you on other than let's make sure we're looking at the minimap and the clock more often. This is something that is really big, both with Samurai's game and your game. Really need you to be hitting timings. I need you to be at Sinners on time. I need you to be at camps on time. I need you to be at bridge buffs on time. I need you to be aware of where the enemies are. And then I need you to be aware of how to play around your teammates and frontline for them. Just knowing what's coming up on the map. So we just need to be looking at the minimap and clock. Do you have any questions, Bullet? Do you feel like that helped? It didn't help? Okay. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm glad you don't have any questions and that helped out a little bit. Feel free to post another request whenever you're ready. Sorry you're not getting any notes today. For those who like having the notes, I don't have it in me today. That being said, really strong game from you though, Bullet. Glad to see it. I need you to say a really good minimap and clock for me. Cannot believe I won't get any notes with 20k circles around laning phase. Yeah. Next time though. All different colors, the notes will fail me and I'll get all upset at them and be like, how do you do this? This requires an IQ of 70. I gotta go now. See you later, Bullet. Thanks for being here. Okay. Yes, I need to make a soundboard of it. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to condone this behavior. This sounds questionable. I don't know, because then people are gonna be like, yo, where did you get that? And you're gonna send them to me, and that's just gonna be my reputation, is minimap and clock. What do I say? How do I say it? It needs to be in the moment. You need to like catch me saying it to somebody, because I don't know how to say it in a way that's gonna make it important. You need to catch me yelling at somebody. Minimap and clock. And then you'll know. That's the soundboard. Okay. I don't think we have any other coaching. Alice isn't here. And I haven't seen more Toxic yet either. And we already did Samurai. And Crab Shack isn't here today either. We're doing that Wednesday. So, I think we've done all of the VOD reviews for today. Let me do this really quick while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Heather, how was your week? It's been a long time. Hopefully you're doing well. Okay. Let's take a look here. I started school last Monday, fall semester. How's it going? I saw you talking to Samurai a little bit about it, I think. You're taking like 5 classes, 14 credits, something like that. Sounds busy. Sounds very, very busy. Do you have any classes that you're really looking forward to? By the way, me using Hayes' dagger as a catch tool when they run away has been a great success instead of engaging with it every time. Yeah, it's one of the ways that you can optimize the dagger for sure. not just using it two-dimensionally every single time. It's good to definitely play around with how you're using it and use it different ways so that they can't be countered. Professors are all super good. I lucked out. That's awesome, Heather. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not smart enough for college. Clearly, can't even come up with the word. So I don't remember my professors being good or bad. Also, tier 1 ult on Haze is so strong early. It just went 100 to zeros people in lane. For sure, it does. It is very strong early. The problem is that it's very easily line of sighted in lane, and that can be a problem. Okay. Words are hard. True. Especially when you've got very small brain. You know what I mean? I've also been liking Healing Booster for Haze's Smoke Bomb and Lifesteal items. Lifesteal items, big heal. Interesting. I don't know if I'd be using Healing Booster. It sounds like too much of an investment for me. But I do like Lifesteal items. I definitely like Active Reload a lot for that reason. But I haven't played a lot of Haze. Well, I mean, I haven't played Deadlock in like a week and a half, but I don't play a lot of Haze anyways. I played her for a little while, but I don't know. Lately, I've just been playing my main, hanging out on page with my brother. Okay, let me see if this is... Okay, sorry. I'm trying to activate a timer. And I'm just trying to make sure it's set up properly. Okay, we got it. I probably need to set it up on more than one platform. So let me, wait, share timer. Oh, interesting. Okay, 1 second. Oh, jeez. Gotta go back. I'm trying to add a timer because my dad and I were talking, and in medicine he said, like, in general they say you can be an expert at 2 things, right? And beyond that you're no longer an expert. And I was trying to think how that could apply to the stream, because being an expert at Deadlock as an Eternus coach is one thing, but how could I be an expert at something else on the stream? And I decided, oh, jeez. I decided to leverage my experience as a financial advisor, and so I figured I'd set up a timer so that if somebody wanted to ask a question about financial advice, that I'd be able to answer that. But I didn't set up the timer until now, so we're just putting that together while I'm thinking of it. Should be fine. Should be fine. Who are they and why do they say so many things? My build is clearly the best build in the world. I like it. I like the confidence, Shelly. Wish I could tell you I was as confident. Okay. There we go. Think we're good. Network updating. Uh-oh. Hopefully I'm not losing you guys. My build certainly works best for my Haze playstyle. That's what matters. That's what matters. Okay. For some reason, I have like a network issue with Deadlock, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull anything up. But that's okay. Let's take a look here. I just take trades and ominously come back with full HP in 30 seconds, and I show up and vanish as quick as the wind. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it works for you. It's important to have fun as we improve. Am I right or am I right? Okay. Your otter's on the right of the screen, so yes, exactly. That's strategic placement is what they call that. Okay, you guys. Oh, I am so tired. I know we didn't even stream for very long today. What has it been? It's been like, what, 3 hours is all? But I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I came back from vacation and my IQ lowered and my energy lowered. We're just gonna have to ease back into it. I will most likely be streaming tonight. It will probably be a silent stream because I'll be on with my brother, but I will be on. If I'm not on tomorrow, then I will see you later in the week, but I most likely will be streaming tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be able to do more coaching tomorrow. Like, I think More Toxic might be on. I'll message him and see, because I haven't heard from More Toxic since he made the request. But we're not doing Crab Shack's VOD review until Wednesday, so tomorrow will probably be More Toxic, any other requests that come in, and Pro VOD reviews potentially. But until then, I hope you all have wonderful games. Hopefully that the coaching today has been helpful. And if you have any like educational content that you would like me to review on stream, like we did this morning with the Poshi Pop video, you can go ahead and put in a request. Bullet has one request in the educational media channel. I may make a dedicated channel for it. I'll let you guys know. But for now, you can just kind of post it in there. That way we can review educational content together and I can kind of give my 2 cents, but also answer questions, trying to bridge the gap in what I struggled with when I was ranking up in Valorant. So if you guys have any educational content that you absorb and would like an Eternus coach's perspective on it, feel free to throw it in the Discord. Other than that, thank you guys so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for the sub, Heather. Appreciate you guys being here. Glad to be back. I do look forward to us hanging out more. And until then, you guys have a wonderful evening. You take it easy.